Brings us to the issue of land, which is truly what the fear is. The whole issue about expropriation of land without compensation. How do you make it palatable?
If you put an Englishman here and put an Afrikaner here and make me choose, I'll choose Afrikaner. Afrikaners have fought.
Yeah.
They fought against the British. They fought against the colonial suppression in the country because they too were oppressed and had to fight for their own liberation against the British colonialism. So those are the kind of people that I'll deal. There's no white person I can drive to the sea. I don't want to do that. I want what Afrikaners wanted from the British. I'm asking for the same thing, and they know what that means. It means that they are going to be in a dinner table with monkeys, and they don't want that. This boy is asking for mad things. How can I be equal to my subject? So we cannot listen to that.
There is a narrative about EFF and white, because your emphasis obviously African child, etc. You've always said you're not against white people, you are for black, the black child, right? Let's talk to Afrikaners today. And some of them may be listening, some of the community radio stations joining us here tonight, right? And some are saying, hey, if Julius gets into the union buildings, we are going to run for the hills. What do you say to them tonight?
If you put an Englishman here and put an Afrikaner here and make me choose, I'll choose Afrikaner.
Why?
Because you know what you are dealing with. A
racist
of note. He doesn't pretend. He doesn't create an impression that we are together when we are not together. Actually, the other second point I like about Afrikaners is that majority of them have got one passport. So their loyalty is with this country. They might have a difficulty of identifying with us as one thing because they believe in two nations in one country. But these other ones, white liberals that Biko had a problem with, are the most dangerous people who, during the day, denounces all manner of things, and then they go behind closed walls to speak very bad about us and exclude us from our own economy. Afrikaners have fought. They fought against the British. They fought against the colonial suppression in the country because they too were oppressed and had to fight for their own liberation against the British colonialism. So those are the kind of people that I'll deal. There's no white person I can drive to the sea. I don't want to do that. That has never been my
But are you
intention.
reaching out to these people to see what their fears? You remember even with the 94 era coming, there was always this thing about white fears, black aspirations, contradistinction between the two, etc. Looks like we're back there because white people seem to still be in this corner, and that's why you have organizations that are mobilizing on the basis of that fear. How do you conquer that? I mean, listen to what John Steenhuisen said after your 10th anniversary, talking about trying to hype the issue of kill the Boer, and then even said there is genocide and went overseas and what have you, and that just showed that there's still a sense in which people can mobilize whites against something like the EFF that is talking about transformation, etc., big issues about land, what that may be seen to be threatening Afrikaners.
Well, there's nothing I can do to contest with Swargafar. It's a Swargafar, it's not real. It's a scaremongering. That these people, when they take over, they're going to do this. They said the same thing about Mandela. That we're not going to be led by a prisoner who's going to come and take our land. Of course, he was talking nationalization himself, Mandela, at the time.
Absolutely. In the first few days.
Yes. And then they left. Those are the hobos, the white hobos you see today here in South Africa. They left their properties at the Vaal River. They left and said, these people are going to kill us. When they were there, they realized they are not rich. The rent, compared to those currencies, there's nothing. Some of them had to do the jobs that we're doing for them outside there. And they said, the best thing, let's go back. And when they came back, it was too late. So I can't deal with that. And these things of ours are written in English. And of late, I saw the SDS printed Afrikaans now. And all different languages. So they can read that for themselves and they know what I want. Because that's what Afrikaners wanted. I want what Afrikaners wanted from the British. I'm asking for the same thing, and they know what that means. It means that they are going to be in a dinner table with monkeys, and they don't want that. This boy is asking for mad things. How can I be equal to my subject? So we cannot listen to that. We listen to genuine concerns.
Yeah.
Let's go to the white Afrikaners. They gave each other land in the 90s when they knew 1994 is coming. The Clerk and them went to explain to them, ran referendum, said, guys, let's allocate ourselves. There was a road that was built between Rustenburg and Mafikeng. And this story I get told by Thandi Modise, she's still alive.
Yeah.
When they were building this road to Mafikeng, they had to go past the farms. When they pass the farms, they are expropriating land. But South Africa's law says when you expropriate land, you must compensate.
Yeah.
Now they say to the white Afrikaners, bring title deeds so that we can compensate you for the piece of land we took when we were passing by your farm. No, that is my contribution. That is my contribution. You know why? They don't have title deeds. Most of these farmers don't have title deeds. They gave to each other. There's a comrade of mine who went to take a land in Midval when we were occupying land. Told this white Afrikaner, my guy, from here to here, from today, is me. That man said, I'm going to fight with you. I'm going to take you to police station. You can't take my land. And this comrade says to me, I just went to buy a fence and I fenced that place.
Yeah.
One neighbor's me and that guy. He can't go anywhere. He doesn't have a title deed.
Yeah.
He was told as he was doing door to door. He's not from Midval.
Yeah.
But no, there is an Afrikaner there who has taken a huge piece of land and everybody is scared, very scared of that guy.
Yeah.
My guy is now farming pigs in that land. And the Afrikaner, they are together. They advise each other of, no, but here we can do this. Anama Bambiri doesn't have papers.
Yeah.
Yes. So
that brings us to the issue of land, which is truly what the fear is. The whole issue about expropriation of land without compensation. How do you make it palatable? And I know that you're saying we're not scared of this and we're not supposed to listen to that. How do you make it palatable to people? Because frankly, I had a conversation with somebody from AfriForum a couple of years ago, and I asked him a simple question. Tell me, Chief, when you've got 30 hectares of land, and you live on 2 hectares, and 2 hectares is a big piece of land, right? Even if you put a massive house, you still have, like, you won't even see where the sun is setting. But let's say you have 5 hectares, just to be silly, right? Why can't you give up this other 25 and give it to other people? Because actually you are not using it, right? Is that the kind of approach that you may use to implement this thing when you actually now have the power, right? Yes. Or people must just run, must just know that you have the 2 or 3 hectares, doesn't matter, all that land doesn't belong to you anymore. I think that sometimes maybe we must simplify this thing for them. EFF is in power on the 1st of June. What do you do on expropriation? Mind you and the ANC failed together, and all the black parties in the last 5 years, to do what the resolution was already giving you a check to do.
Yes. Well, you can't say you and the ANC failed together. The ANC chickened out at the last minute, and you must put the blame where it matters. Yeah. The ANC at the last minute, after we canvassed the whole country, majority of people said expropriate land without compensation. Submission said expropriate land without compensation. You are saying to me, people are scared. Which people? Because I've been all over South Africa. Parliament has been all over South Africa. You can go and find that in Parliament, where majority of people said expropriate land without compensation, and do what this guy of mine did in Midval. He didn't chase away the white man. He said, you've got too much big the land and you are not using it, all of it. So take your portion, I take my portion, then we use the land. But you can't do that if you don't own the land. So you first make the state the custodian of the land. You say, every piece of land, including Malema's house, is owned by the state. But we will know, yes, Malema's house, you can't tamper with it. Your property must include the building on top of the land. Then Once that is being allocated, we know there is Alex Mall, there is this, this land is used for this. Then there is this idling land. What do you do with it? You give to the landless. Why should Alexander be the way it is when there is a big open land next to it? The other one is there by Mall of Africa. They even developed it that the family. It's
99-year lease
now.
Waterfall.
But that land is owned by one family.
Yeah.
And then the rich, the most clever blacks with money, go there to buy properties that are leased for 99 years. And they say we can't lease from the state. But they're prepared to lease from one family.
Yeah.
So what? This is just hypocrisy.
Yeah. That's
why I said to you, they don't mean it. They don't own property. And the bad thing with that one of Waterfall is that when the lease finishes, your children or great-grandchildren, they don't have a right to inherit that land. Once the lease finishes, they must still buy. They must enter into a new lease and buy. So we are suggesting what is being done in Waterfall already, but by a private company. The people who are saying to you, these people can't take our land, they are staying in flats, and they are given sectional title deeds that you own here, but they don't own the land where they were prepared to buy apartments and flats. Most of these people are staying in estates that are not owned by them, but they've got a problem with the state ownership. So it's not real. The obsession that our people are obsessed with the piece of paper called a title deed is not true. The most effective way, we give the land to the state, we allocate wherever is already allocated, you are there, don't move. Then
do you get a sense that South Africa is ready for that?
It is. South Africa told you, JJ, we did public hearings on expropriation of land without compensation. The ANC...
That's why you nearly beat up Terala Goda.
He was telling me nonsense. That's why I didn't want to come here and meet Gwede, because he is going to talk nonsense and I'll answer him. Because I don't care about age. I care about wisdom. You can be old and be stupid. There are old people without wisdom, a lot. And there are young people with too much wisdom. And
I want to link into this thing about ANC and EFF because it's relevant in the context of what you try to do on the land. You went to put a
then they say,
resolution.
No, expropriate the land without compensation, but it must be a rotten land. What do you do with a rotten land? They say this, you must expropriate the state-owned land. It's already ours. How can we expropriate what is ours?
No,
they were pretending to be.
Understand, but
and then they say the EFF sold out.
Is that
we were not going to vote for rotten land.
Is that
we want Sandton City.
So is that a deadlock in your view? Because I want to believe that should you come to a situation where you are on the table to try to negotiate some kind of a deal with the ANC, the land issue is going to be number one.
Yes.
Not just because it's your thing as the top of your agenda, but that's why the ANC was founded. So it should be something that's common between the two of you. When
I was in the ANC and Balega Mbete was a national chairperson, when she spoke about the land and how the Economic Commission at the CODESA sidelined the issue of the land, you know, it feels like she wants to cry about it because she knows the originality of where this compromise was made. So we will never miss each other with the ANC on the land question, because the ANC went to Nazareth and said we must expropriate without compensation, but elected the wrong leadership,
which who did not pursue that,
who were scared to pursue the resolution. Unlike 1944, when the Youth League was formed and took a resolution including the program of action to revive the ANC and to radicalize the South African struggle. The Youth League went to ANC 1949 conference and made the ANC to adopt its own resolutions, and then did not end there and said we need correct people to come and lead this. That's when they elected the correct leadership. Walter Sisulu was in that leadership, Nelson was in that leadership, O.R. Tambo was in that leadership, because they knew that We have got a progressive policy to take up arms against the murderous regime. But these pastors will not implement arms. We need people who are going to take up arms.
Do you think there is a hope between you and the ANC in terms of collaboration on a bigger scale? I'm not talking municipal.
Look, we are not far from what we are demanding. Is what was the original demand of 1912 when the revolution started in South Africa. So we are demanding the fundamental cause of what made us to be where we are. We are demanding that which was sold out at Kodes. We are the original ANC because our policy is exactly that. These guys wanted the land and said the land must be returned to the rightful owners.
There you have it, guys. Julius Malema is usually full of these revolutionary speeches. Sometimes you wonder where he gets them from. But whatever the case is, we really hope that his wisdom transcends, and really contributes to the development of Africa and in helping solving Africa's really myriad of challenges. But what do you guys think about his speech? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemi as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.